Hey, it's Lorraine Francis with Cadiz Collaboration, and today we're actually going to talk about a great project that we've been working on for the past 2 years in Santa Barbara, the Moxy Hotel. And this is actually a great property because we worked on it years before with Pacifica, and then it went to another company called Dauntless, and then actually our new owners are StonePark Capital, which is Andrew Firestone and Jess Parker. And they've been such great clients to work with. And it was really about converting actually a very cool brand called the Wayfarer into a Moxy Hotel. So we'll just kind of do from the starting point. So what we love to do is go to research actually a lot of different Moxy hotels. So we start working with Marriott, and then we kind of see what's the best of Moxy. So they have this great San Diego property, and we just kind of really start to look at the imagery of what's going on, and kind of this Chattanooga property that recently opened last year, and this is the Washington DC, which is actually the most similar to our projects because we have a very small hotel. It's only 34 keys, and it's in actually the Santa Barbara Funk Zone, which is really cool. But it's been really kind of fun to kind of fit everything into a very small space. And the Moxy brand is really welcoming. Actually, this is also the other Seattle one. And then, I don't know if we have one more. No. So then this goes back to kind of, we like to go to the site and we like to go visit around the town, see what else is going on, what are the different beautiful projects. There's a great Pally Hotel over there. There's a new Kimpton that's been renovated over there. There is actually we're working on another Tribute in Santa Barbara. So it's just kind of nice to always look what's happening. There's a California. So we kind of spend a day or two kind of exploring and see that so we could really start to kind of set the vibe of what's going on. And then from that point, we really we'll kind of go to the hero, we'll go to the story. So it's really about the Funk Zone, which is like downtown San Diego, or downtown Santa Barbara, which is really kind of this old kind of eclectic area that's kind of still industrial, and then it has a lot of great spaces in there. But I think it's also kind of like modernize that and bring this California culture of this beautiful aspect of Santa Barbara is so beautiful, but it still has a little bit of grit, but it has also this joyful charisma that we really bring into the space. And then we'll go to the next one. And then we really kind of start to write, what's the narrative? So we look at historical, we look at the physical, and we look at the social, and kind of really understanding what's in the area and how we're going to pull from that to really develop our story a little bit more. And this is kind of the beautiful kind of key points that we like to play with. This top right image is really showing kind of this bar element and kind of, just a beautiful little tiny bar. What we love about what the Moxy Hotel does have is they like to have a mascot. So this one was great because one of our clients, Andrew, his sister owns she does coffee up there. So and her actually logo and her mascot is the llama. So we're bringing that in to bring that local vibe in. And I think kind of the rest of these images kind of show a little bit of kind of the joy, the charisma, a little bit of the grit that we want to incorporate into our design. And then these are kind of like the 3 landing pictures that we like, which is the llama on the right, which is actually just a beautiful animal and kind of really, bringing that into the art, and a little bit of the funk zone and kind of the grit there, and then the beauty of that free flow in Santa Barbara. So we'll kind of go to the floor plan. So it's really this is a really small project. So really it was just like coming in, it was actually a hostel hotel. So one of the key aspects of this hotel is we had to keep the kitchen area, which is on this far right where the N is on actually the space plan. But you walk in and really the whole Moxy vibe is about like coming in, not to a check-in counter, but coming into the bar and getting a drink and being engaged by, just kind of their staff and kind of the locals there, which we love. So we have this bar to the left, and then we created this new living room in the center there. And then we have this long alley that kind of takes you out to the pool area, which is kind of going back up to State Street. And we have a communal area. And then they had this existing like Rock'em Sock'em Robox that was kind of backlit. And we just love that, so we wanted to keep that part of it. So we'll kind of move through some of the floor plans, and just kind of, we like to stylize because it's a lot about the FF&E, which is what we're changing. We found a very beautiful sofa that was custom made, but also the Moxy vibe is a lot about play, a lot about things not matchy, and kind of still bringing in that grit and that urban vibe. So nothing is too precious, and I think we'll look here straight at some of the finishes that we have, but these are kind of like starting to look at some of the finishes with kind of bringing in some of the gray leather for the sofa, but still having that pop of kind of like, just a beautiful fun fabric. There's actually a lot of the butterflies up in Santa Barbara there. And then we kind of did a lot of play with color. So we have some different metals that we brought into the space that we love. And then a little bit going back to, we'll kind of go in more detail, but we have this beautiful countertop when we kind of walk into the bar. So I'll show you, we'll go back to the presentation and just the presentation, and I'll kind of show you the furniture. So here, just kind of some other areas. We have this beautiful fun carpet in the living room area, and then kind of playing with this tabletop and bringing in these kind of like, actually taking a little spin on the California tile work, but kind of in this fun pop and a little bit more Euro edge and being a little bit more eclectic. Then we have kind of our bar stools. We have a little bit of swing stool in the lobby area, and then some kind of, swing stools also at this other counter area, which is great. And really kind of, what we like to have in the communal area is a very eclectic kind of chairs, bringing in the pops of the blues and the yellows throughout the space. And then we have some lounge areas throughout the space. I'm gonna swing forward to, these are kind of, so what we love to do, I think with this is kind of like, we start with the white model. So the white model is really important to us. It really helps our clients to understand. So we build everything in Revit. So we think Revit's a great tool. And for us, it really kind of stands, we have some existing conditions. We have some columns in the space that you could see, but also kind of creating this, shroud of this bar and this welcome. We also have to deal with ADA issues. So where we're going to kind of drop the counter is really important. And I'll kind of continue through on some of our white models. So this is kind of a white model of the living room sofa area, kind of where you're going to get coffee, a little bit of a marketplace. And actually we're having like this beautiful macrame screen made with like ropes and stuff to bring in the marine area and kind of the harbor on some of the boats there. So that's actually getting made. That's the only thing that's not quite done throughout the space. And then just kind of still studying, I'm going to show you a little bit further where we're going to get these into color. But we did have some existing brick walls throughout the space, but it really, using a tool like Revit just really helps everyone to really understand the space. So kind of when you walk in, we have this kind of really engaging bar, and actually it was kind of an existing bar that we or existing check-in counter, so we kind of had to reuse part of it, but we had to reimagine it. So I'll go to some of the materials here. So we still really love this like wood and using something really linear that was going to be playful on it, and we love this top, so we kind of brought in the greens. There's so many beautiful green trees in the area, and that hinted like coral and beiges of the sand that we see, and this makes like an exquisite top. I just went up to the site and saw that in. And then we also, we're kind of playing with a little bit of a rugged concrete, but we're doing this out of, I forgot who makes this, if this is Silestone, but it just looks really great. And then we're playing with also kind of this black and white, so it kind of really makes a strong angle, and that's what you're going to start to see on the elevations. And then just bringing in also some more wood tones throughout the space. And then we kind of found this really great tile that becomes the floor, because we had to match this existing more industrial kind of, like reddish rusty floor. So this is really working really well throughout there, and it's kind of has a little bit of a modeling, so it feels more handmade, but it's a pretty inexpensive tile that feels like it has a much more expensive look. So this has been really successful kind of in our area right now. And then I think kind of what's the beauty, we'll kind of go back to the presentation only, but they have this check-in desk. They kind of have this like pop of neon. So Moxy's colors were about bringing this pink in through the space. Oh, I keep going the wrong way. And then, but this kind of gives the overall vibe of what the whole kind of lobby looks like. So we have the check-in, we have the wood, we have this playful stripe, which is a little bit of fun, this great countertop, kind of bringing a little fur, kind of just a little bit kind of that llama-esque into that space and there. And then actually it was so great because our client has really good friends with the local artists. So we really want to also get that local artist. We had this wood, or actually a brick wall. So this whole thing about pour your heart out, this whole sense of graffiti, kind of bringing in the whole idea of, being in the funk zone, which is really important to us. And then kind of just shows a couple more chairs in that area. But I think the grab and go is really special here. It's kind of in the lobby. But these two black refrigerators, we got them done custom, and they're just this beautiful pop of blue. So they're from a company called True, and they're just going to do a great job accessorizing this, because it's really important to just like grab and go to the beach, because it's really down the street, and really kind of accentuating the llamas. So those are all going to get installed, I think, this week also. So we're excited to go back for our next visit and see that. And then this kind of gives the whole kind of vibe of just some of the kind of the play with the black and white, going back to the colors of the llama, bringing in a little bit of what we're going to do for this macrame screen, dividing the kitchen area and the living room area, so which has really been great because it's really all opened up. And then what's lovely about the space, Moxy, which is great about them, is we actually get a stylist. So stylist is part of the brand, and the stylist is coming out. I think this week they've ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and they work with us to really kind of accessorize the whole space, whether that's putting up a skateboard or bringing other fun things or elements of Santa Barbara. And it really helps really develop Moxy and making it really special, because you have the architect, you have the designer, and we're actually both for this project, but we have a stylist to work with to really kind of, really tie into. We're working with Lori over at Moxy, and she's been a great person with us as a design background to really, work together, because we have to get things approved by them. And it's been a really, fun process with them. And then we have, let's go see what we have. And it's really about play, so we want to kind of get that idea of play within it throughout the space that we're kind of looking at. I think one of the fun elements we have is a stairwell. We have an existing stairwell with this great, actually, it's like a lucite cut map of actually Santa Barbara, and we have a little red dot for where the hotel was. And we're really, to dress up the stair, we really kind of looked at also kind of going back to these beautiful tiles that are a little bit more like old Californian, but kind of in this modern play. And we had this great contractor who does a lot of high-end residential and also commercial, but they did a great job cutting it out to kind of come up the stairs, and it really creates a beautiful experience. And then what we did also was to actually, develop a custom light fixture. I think we got a different one than this because it wasn't available. But we have this one that has these little bit of arms. So we're just working with the electrician about that and putting that in last week. But it turned out really well, and got rid of some smaller ones. And then we have this actually super simple elevator, and the super simple elevator, we wanted to create this pop, so we just wanted to do this vinyl wrap, because we also were running out of money. Everything's being done on a budget, so we actually love this kind of artist's work with this eye and kind of this playful of the sunshine. So this is the first time we actually worked in a little bit of AI, and we kind of reimagined it. So we kind of had to play with kind of the whole idea of what's the eye, what's the sunshine, and we probably did this about 50 times in Midjourney. But it was actually fun for us to play in AI and actually get something that we actually loved, and it got all installed, and the client loved it, and Marriott loves it right now also. And then we use the vinyl for the flooring, because sometimes you can't even change flooring into a heavier wood floor, because it's about the weights that can be already distributed for that elevator. So it's a concrete vinyl, but actually it's doing the job, and it's going to look really great. So this is really fun. It's a great experience when you kind of go into this elevator. And then, we just kind of did some simple fixes in the bathroom. We kind of just dressed them up. We got this great wall covering from Aztec, which is kind of like these drunken monkeys. So it'll be kind of adding a flair, and that just got delivered last week. And the last thing we worked on the corridors. They were a little bit gray, so we kind of did this little pop of this kind of peacocky teal color in the doors to kind of add a little bit more fun in the zones. And then we could just look at this one, because I feel like this was so fun, really looking at, we changed the sign. It's an old, California building, so it's just kind of stucco. It's just a beautiful building facade, and actually we really kind of played to dress up the storefront with also being consistent with the tiles that kind of flank the doors. And then we got all these kind of beautiful fun chairs on the top right, and these pops of colors for the tables, and some fun planters. So that all is kind of almost done. And then the last part is really the pool area. And this pool area is kind of, we're back right on State Street, so it backs up there. It's really, actually I was just there a week ago. You could just walk down to the harbor and walk down to the pier in about 5 minutes. But it was bringing about sense of play, so they have this outdoor bar that we kind of made and kind of use a little bit of this tile, but just kind of as a vinyl wrap within it. And then we're gonna add these little counters that you could kind of sit at, so it's almost like you're engaging when you have your rooms and you're engaging with the pool, and that's kind of bringing in this whole California sunshine, which is so great for this project. So we're super excited that we finished this up. It took a little while because Santa Barbara Building Department was super difficult, so it took us almost maybe 8 months to get a permit for us, but we kind of marched along as a team. It's been a really great team. Azul's the management company, and then StonePark Capital is the owner, and Marriott Moxy is actually the brand, so it kind of really takes this great team on my side too, of our team members to really make this come forward and be a great project. So we'll kind of show you, we'll do another walkthrough in the next couple of months when we go up there again and we see the project. Thanks so much.